I think the ultimate satisfaction in this world is being the creator of your own reality, is being in charge, is having the confidence, the awareness, the understanding to actually go, interesting, but I choose this. Hey, it's Kim Calvert and you are watching Dynamite Lifestyle YouTube, and today I am going to give you 6 symptoms of fear and poverty and how it could be potentially keeping you stuck and holding you back from where you can really go. So I'm going to actually do a little reading today from Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't read this book or got this book, I would definitely suggest it as great reading. But the truth is, millions and millions and millions of people have bought this book, read this book, started groups about this book, masterminds about this book. My goodness, if you haven't already heard of it, then maybe you are relatively new to this. But essentially, Napoleon Hill was asked to write this book around the laws of achievement. What is it? What was that golden thread that ran through 500 of the most successful people back in that time? And the truth is, none of that's really changed, because us as human beings, we all essentially work the same. We just go through different stages of awareness. That's why we have, cars now. Back in the day, it was horse and cart. The awareness hadn't reached that point yet until, of course, Henry Ford and all the rest of them got on board. And what I really love about this book is that it sets out the psychology and the understanding of how you can think and become rich. Now, rich can be, vastly interpreted in many different ways. But for what I see richness is living a life of true fulfillment, of purpose. Definitely, I think having money is a massive part of living your life to the biggest extent and being able to help more people, have more choices. But I love this book and I love reading parts from it, because even today, in this day and age, all of these very simple symptoms of fear and poverty are still around. They're still very prevalent. And I think you're going to be able to recognize possibly some of these for yourself. I know that I can. So the first one we want to talk about is indifference. And this is commonly expressed through lack of ambition. Do you know so many people are trapped with fear and worry because they just simply don't know where they're going? They've never actually sat down with a pen and paper and made a decision. This is what I want from my life. This is what I want to experience. Here is where I want to go. This is how I want to look. This is what I want to bring to the world. And the big reason for that is we were never really taught about goal achieving or setting. And it's just kind of been always thrown about as that New Year's resolution. I did it. You've probably done it. The truth is, if you do not set the direction of your life, that direction is being set for you through the world, through economy, through people's opinions, through family, through friends. So many people are actually deciding how you're living your life except you. So you really want to ask yourself, have you an indifference around what happens to you? Do you care? Now, I think you do because you're watching this video, but then really ask yourself, is that what's showing up in your life? Are you showing up like you care every day? Getting up with intention, okay? Second one then is indecision, very closely linked, because if you haven't made a decision how you want to show up in this world, then that is a decision in itself, and it's indecision. Indecision leads to procrastination, leads to fear, doubt, worry, frustration. So even today, as you're watching this video, have you made the conscious decision today, like the first thing this morning at your breakfast, brushing your teeth with the kids, wherever you were this morning, did you actually stop and go, today's going to be a good day. Today, I am going to make things happen. And it seems, silly, it seems simple, but my goodness, see when you incorporate that one habit of just saying to yourself, today I'm going to make today count, you are going to have one of the most incredible days. Everything will work. The lights will go green. You'll be skipping down the street. And don't get me wrong, not every day in life is perfect. It's called life. There's supposed to be challenges. There's supposed to be resistance to show you what you want because you can see what you don't want. Doubt is the third one. Generally expressed through alibis and excuses designed to cover up, explain away, or apologize for one's failures. It is sometimes expressed in the form of envy of those who are successful or by criticizing them. I can definitely admit that there's been times in my life when I didn't know what I didn't know, and I looked at people who were successful and I thought, oh, it's all those successful people. I didn't even call them that. I wouldn't even have known to call. I didn't even think they were successful. I just thought they were people that had money and they're just not like me. And I separated myself. And you know what the thing is? I've never met the person. I don't know anything about them. But yet I was able to say very confidently, I'm not them. They're not me. I'm different. And really, if I was to go back and be really honest, I was putting myself on a lower level and seeing these people up here. Now, if you see somebody up there, that automatically puts you below them. Now, I wonder why we do that. I wonder, like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you've looked at people and went, oh, them successful people down there. But I doubt it. And that's what this point's all about, doubt. If you put yourself lower than anybody else, you're going to attract low results. Now, I also do not believe in putting yourself above anybody else. That's really important. That's ego. Ego will absolutely make you money, but it will also make you spiritually broke inside. And that's again why we have this perception of rich people, poor people. But we can't blame the money. It's the decisions that those people made with the power of money behind them, for sure. But you're not that person. You don't have to be those people. So don't judge. Don't assume something negative about somebody that you haven't even met, or even somebody that you have. Because here's the thing. If you're able to see something in somebody else and you criticize them, you're going to be criticized. And I'm sure that you have opportunities, business opportunities, or things that you want to share with people, and it drives you crazy when somebody goes, no, I'm not interested, and they haven't even listened. So my question to you today is, are you listening? Are you allowing that to come to you? Okay? Next one is worry. This is usually expressed by finding fault with others, a tendency to spend beyond one's income, or neglect to personal appearance, scowling and frowning, intemperance, and the use of alcohol, sometimes through narcotics, nervousness, lack of poise, self-consciousness, lack of self-resilience. If you entertain worry, that's what you're opening up yourself to. Now, maybe some of those things you can see you've experienced or you've went through. I always, back even when I was nursing, when I seen people in a dark place and maybe using other things, I always knew they're filling a gap. And that always comes back to fear, doubt and worry. Doubt and worry are the precursors to fear. Fear is an emotion. That's at a subconscious level. What triggers that is the doubts and the worries. So if you don't want to be in a fearful energy, which ultimately leads to anxiety and depression, then you've got to stop that before it becomes fear at the conscious level, which is doubt and worry. Now, it's not as easy as going, don't worry about something. But if you're going to worry about something, why not just decide, instead of me worrying that this may not work out, you've no proof that it will, you've no proof that it won't. So why not just give your mind, your subconscious mind, the feeling of faith? Because fear and faith are both emotions at a subconscious level, and you can't see either of them. They're invisible. Fear is invisible, faith is invisible. We see expressions of fear and faith. But at a deep level, they're invisible. And we choose, I'm either going to be afraid of this, or I'm going to have faith in myself that I can deal with this. And that's a choice. And it's a choice that you can make every second of every day. Why it's an important choice is because your subconscious mind, which controls how you feel and then what you do, your subconscious mind doesn't know what is real or what's imagined. Isn't that incredible? That was one of the biggest things that blew my mind when I got into this material. There's a part of you, and by the way, this part of you controls all of your results in life. But that part of you that lives in a subconscious mind, it does not know the difference between reality or imagined reality. And here's the cool part. You're able to control your imagination. So instead of worrying over something, you could decide to think in your mind and send to your subconscious mind a signal through your central nervous system, just by holding a new image that you've made in your imagination, that this is going to be the best outcome. You can turn that around like that if you just decide. So I really want you to learn from that. Worry and doubt will always lead to fear. But if you can have, some understanding, and you can turn that lack of awareness into awareness and create faith, you're going to be plain sailing. You're going to be able to create abundance in your life, create less effort, create ease, flow, and joy. And you know what happens, because we all have a friend that no matter what happens, they always end up just falling on their feet. That could be you. That can be designed. Last one, overcaution and procrastination. This is a symptom of fear of poverty. If you're overcautious, if you're the person that says, well, we don't know if we should do it this way, and what if that happens, and what if that happened, and then that happens, and then that happens. We all know somebody like that, okay? I can say that's my mother, okay? Because no matter what you say, there's always a scenario of how it may not work. But you know what? That used to really, really peeve me off, because I used to argue it. But you know what I've actually learned? I'm going, yeah, Mum, you're right. That is a possible outcome. I just don't choose that outcome. If you want to choose that outcome, brilliant. You go for it. I've decided that doesn't serve me. I'm going to use my mind, my imagination, to create a different outcome, and that's what I'm going to accept. Because the truth is, guys, every one of you listening to me now can accept or reject anything I'm saying. Okay? I'm not here to try and people please. I'm not here to try and convince you to do what I do or think the way I think. I don't teach people what to think. I teach people how to think. Because I think the ultimate satisfaction in this world is being the creator of your own reality, is being in charge, is having the confidence, the awareness, the understanding to actually go, interesting, but I choose this. Instead of living in a world where we're fighting over opinions, you must believe this because I believe this, we need to start being more open-minded. We need to start being more aware of understanding perceptions. Bob always says there's only one problem in this universe, and that is ignorance. We just don't know. So we argue or we ridicule or we put down. And that is, I've seen that so many times. I know people, when I started out wanting to be an entrepreneur, I was a nurse, I had £4.20, I had no experience. Everybody put me down. Everybody said you're never going to do it, and what happens when you give up the government job, and what happens when you do this and that doesn't work, and sure, you can't make a business successful for so many years until a break. I heard it all. You probably heard it all. I proved them wrong. Because I decided, why should I take your basically when they're saying that to you, it's going into your mind as like a movie, as an outcome, a possible outcome. Because most of us have never been taught how to accept and reject ideas, actually take ownership, we're accepting everything that people say. Even just sit and ask yourself right now, why do you believe what you believe? Why do you think the way you think? It's because that's how you were taught. It's how you were conditioned from mum and dad genetically, but then most of it was environmental. What did you hear about money growing up? What did you hear about you growing up? All of these things matter because they're all these little snapshots, people's opinions, people talking about the past, people do, it all goes into your mind and creates this picture. That picture is leading you through life. So I want you to assess those points that I just put out today and really ask yourself, am I the creator of my reality, or am I letting what is already created dictate my future and my future reality? So 6 symptoms of fear and poverty: indifference, indecision, worry, overcaution, and of course, procrastination. If you're wondering, is this the right time to make a move? Yes, it's always the right time. Don't be that person that on down the road you look back and go, if only I had have known. You're never going to get a letter through the post saying, today is the day, today is the perfect conditions, go for it. It's never going to happen. So just make today the day that you start and take ownership and move on to that plane of faith. I hope you've enjoyed today. We'll be back with more videos. Leave comments, let me know what you think, and any topics that you also want me to chat about. Thanks.